I think it's pretty obvious we don't know what we're talking about, so I think everything's good.
Now y'all know what's wrong with me. And on that note,
I don't even know if it was bad refing. I just know that it was bad on our part. Go support your team. Go
Yes.
support band, cheerleaders.
The Autumn Mix inspired Michael Ball. It's the first time he's ever raised his hands on a yes.
Well,
so that's pretty impressive.
Scare that referee back. Let's talk a little football.
hey everybody, welcome to the Press Box. I am so glad you're with us for another exciting year of grumpy old men talking football.
Today we're
I'm
grumpy.
happy.
Today we're grumpy.
I'm happy to see you guys here. I'm telling you.
We need some
glad-
Autumn Mix,
I'm
Mike.
telling
That's what
you.
we need, buddy.
Getting
hot in here.
We need some
I'm
peace
ready.
and love around here. Randy Young, Michael Best, Jim Rayburn. Audience, I'm so glad you can join us for it. I'm also
Back at the old set?
Yeah, back at the old
Pre-COVID.
set.
Look at this. It's the
That's right,
truth.
man.
Been about 5 years since we've been
I
in
feel
here.
like it has been about 5
Michael's
years
out
since
of the
we've been
back.
here.
I'm not in the back
Grandpa
anymore.
Mike back there talking wisdom
Talking
to
off-
everybody.
We were in that dungeon last time.
Uncle
That's
Mike.
right. Well, the talk of the town for this early football season, I think, is classification. So let's talk about that. Going to be some new faces and some new classifications, and always an interesting time settling that out. But Randy, let's talk with Central. And
Why did I know you were coming over here
Let's
first?
talk with Central first, and let's talk about you guys are
Hi,
6A.
Mike. Good to see you, buddy.
I know.
Yeah, appreciate it. We're up 2 classes from where we were. We're in 6A, which of course, number-wise, doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And this is the multiplier. That
This is the multiplier thing.
Central
yeah.
and Thomasville. by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I mean, it ended up causing. I don't even. He has nothing to contribute to this. Listen to him.
Well, they don't have any out of district
We,
kids.
None.
we don't. We're K-Road, very young.
And nobody
Yeah,
moves
and
there
no-
or anything.
nobody moves
I mean,
to
it's-
K-Road.
No out of district kids.
And
I can't
he's
get
the
my
one that
daughter
said
to
that.
move out of K-Road.
Thank God.
But yeah, it is what it is, and
So you guys are up there with some big boys,
Yeah,
Lee, and
yeah.
who's in your region now this year?
Well, Lee County, Northside Warner Robins.
Hey, after what y'all did to Cook, they don't stand a doggone
Right.
chance. Lee County better
That's right.
buckle
That's
down
right.
and get
That's
ready.
right. Tift County's in there. Houston County. So I mean, it's a bunch of big.
A lot of counties.
Yeah.
lot of big
Thomas
boys
County,
in there.
Lee County.
Yeah. So
I think the positive. I know this is kind of, you don't want to hear the positive, but at least
Please,
there's going to
please
be a
do.
lot of fans in the stands. I like this region in terms of there's going to be a lot of interest in these games.
I hope. It depends. I mean, honestly, this is the only good news that I see is that these are teams that historically we're familiar with. I mean, we've played them before.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, it's been a while, but we were fairly successful. I mean, we've always been pretty good against Tift. Houston, we've taken care of them a couple of times. Northside, we've struggled with. And of course, Lee County right now is kind of in a league of their own. I mean, as far as the region is concerned. But, who knows? Once we get into it, hopefully we'll take some positive steps and just get a little bit better every week and get ready for that region play halfway through the year. We got some time to grow to get there.
Yep.
We'll see.
Really, K-Road classification, you guys are sitting pretty, right? You guys are fine, right?
Oh, we got a tough region.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We got a tough region.
Okay. Is
you look-
Matanzas
we got-
in the
I
region,
tried
or-
not to look at Jim because I knew what was going to happen. I
We
did the same
got,
thing.
we got Bainbridge.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Okay,
Bainbridge
all
is
right.
one
Okay,
region.
I'll give you that one.
I'll give you
Last
Bainbridge.
23 years,
one.
something like that,
How long are you going to talk about them?
And we got Bainbridge in there. And I mean, we got Bainbridge.
Yeah,
And,
Bainbridge is tough.
well, yeah. And
Yeah.
then we've got Westover. Now, Westover,
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, look at that,
Yeah. You never
We'll
know.
swap Westover for Darty.
Yeah. Okay.
No, never mind.
All right.
We got, what is it, Shaw? That's a big clump.
It's a traditional power.
Yeah,
It's an
power.
old tradition. Flowers
Yes,
is gone.
That's right. That's right.
Well, but he lives near and
Yeah.
influence.
I'm trying to help him out. I'm
Yeah.
trying to help him out.
All right. Well, let's. So
Wait,
They
I
got,
don't really
know what to
they
do,
got
right?
a chance to keep that.
you're going to
state
keep that
playoff
region streak
home streak
going,
intact.
right? I mean,
Intact.
I
Hey,
think
there's
it's-
only 4 getting to go, and there's 5 of us. So
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
us is going to be out.
Yeah.
Well, wait, who are the other ones? You got Sean.
We got Shaw, Westover, us, Bainbridge. We got Bainbridge.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I
Bainbridge is tough.
mentioned Bainbridge, and
so you know that.
we got one more. I can't.
Is it Monroe,
Okay,
maybe?
no,
You're
Monroe's
really scared of
not,
No,
yeah, I don't-
Monroe's in our.
Chris.
Monroe's
Is it Chris?
No,
No,
it's
Crisp
not
is
Chris.
in our region,
Oh, that's
unfortunately.
right.
Oh,
Chris is in
I
here.
don't.
We feel like a bunch
we're
of
not looking
confused
that
old men
far
at this
ahead.
point.
We're just focusing in on
Bainbridge.
on Bainbridge.
The bucket. All right, so let's talk about Thomasville's region. You guys are going to be in
gotta look it up.
AAA.
We're in AAA.
So you have the aforementioned Chris in that
we
region.
have Chris, Carver, Columbus. That's the weak link, and then we got Monroe and Darty.
Okay.
So we have no gates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you know that's
Chris,
gonna be,
that's the last game of the season. They're iffy on.
yeah, because that double A, that was a great thing about the double A region y'all were in was like the gates were pretty good.
Pretty good. Well, our pit, we've been
Yeah.
playing them for so long, but we were the best gate for AA schools.
Sure.
All the Cook and the Worth and the Fitzgeralds, but well,
Yeah.
we're playing in our first 5 ball games. We're playing everybody bigger than us except for Brooks, who's defending state champion. But we got Bainbridge.
Yeah. All right.
Hardaway.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hardaway.
that's
look.
it.
Hey, I'll just say their name
Yeah.
is
yeah.
Hardaway.
Let me just
Now,
say
y'all
that-
talking about easy schools. We're
that-
playing one called Hardaway.
Let me translate. That's easy way. Let's go ahead and translate it.
Let's translate. That's not a football school.
All right.
We play who they send us.
So
And Bainbridge.
and Bainbridge. Colquitt County has a couple of teams that move into their region. I guess Valdosta moves
Valdosta
up.
comes up.
And then there's another one maybe that kind of moves in there with the traditional powers with Camden's in there. Who else is in Colquitt's region?
Lowndes.
Lowndes. Seemed like there was one other pretty solid team that moved into
I was
that
trying to
one,
think
but
of the other one.
I
that
can't-
There is
I can't-
somebody else that came in,
It's
but
not
I'm not
coffee,
sure.
is it?
No,
I don't think it's
Coffee's
coffee.
5.
Anyway, we'll put that graphic up and we can laugh at our bad memories.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Thomasville. You've got Brooks. You're going to go at Brooks this week.
We're in the Rat Palace.
You are in the Rat Palace. Brooks won state title last year,
Got a lot of them back.
and there are a lot of them coming back.
The
Pretty
quarterback's
dangerous.
back, and he's very good. They did lose their best running back, but they'll have another one.
10's gone finally.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's quarterback.
Okay.
So
I
they're
think
they're running
Armand is the running back that graduated.
Okay. That's the one that was
back. And he was a
killer.
star.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but he's gone. But they'll always be big up front, quick in the backfield, and it's hard to play them in the Rat Palace.
They bring that hammer.
They
They
sure
do.
do.
Bring
They
it
put
with
that
them.
hammer in the center of the field.
Yeah.
And
Well, tell me about the new. You got a new coach, and things will look pretty familiar for the Dogs, but you got a lot of seniors as well. Give me kind of a preview, your thoughts on this Thomasville High team.
we got a lot of young seniors.
Yeah, they didn't.
They haven't.
They
They've
did not play
played.
much.
They have played a little bit.
That's a K-roll
I think we
line,
got
I think.
20. I think we got 28 seniors, but
That class up above them played quite
right.
a bit for
The
sophomore,
senior,
junior.
the 25 that graduated last year was the leaders. Of course, now we got a whole offensive line back. They've played 3 straight. This will be their 3rd year together from tackle to tackle. At some point, they were spotted in there, so that's the strength of the team. Defensively, we changed them from a 3-5-3. I think we're going to run more 4-man front, which suits us probably better. But offensively,
It's going to be.
shouldn't see any change because Coach DeLay and my son Jeremy were offensive coordinators and basically ran the offense. So DeLay has kept the same. He'll be calling the plays from the sideline instead of having someone in the press box calling them. But it'll be the same. Just
Hurry up.
we don't have an experienced quarterback. We got a junior that's played some when the others were hurt. That's the Beckham kid. He'll probably start. But we got a freshman, Cam. I'm not going to say his name because he'll get recruited. But we got a freshman that's the real deal.
Okay.
He's already 6'3", 6'4", got big hands and can fly. And so he's going to play. He'll probably play some. In fact, he had a decent night against Valdosta. And you want to talk about Valdosta? They're the real deal this time
Yeah.
on defense. They got their
Yeah, they had some.
their
studs all
men.
over
They
the
were
place.
just throwing us aside like we
Yeah.
wasn't there. But we'll face a defensive line against Brooks that'll give us a lot of trouble. They always do. But I
And
think
so-
Coach DeLay's going to do a good job.
Yeah, it's going to be fun because it's a heated rivalry game. I mean,
Right,
these
that-
players
hey.
get after it.
Michael's talking about Bainbridge. Well, we open up with Brooks, who hates us. Then we open up with Central, who we hate. And then we got Cairo, who everybody hates. And then we got Bainbridge, who nobody hates.
Except for K-Roll.
Except for Cairo.
No, they hate Cairo.
They just hate
Oh, that's
Cairo.
right. That's right. That's right.
And then we got Tift, who we've not played since the 70s.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
back when we were in AAA, the biggest classification.
That's a good series there.
Yeah,
That's the last time we played them.
yeah.
So we play in.
You're going to be well tested
We're
coming
going.
to the region.
If we make it out of that, we might win one game in the region. We might beat Columbus.
Oh, here we
All right,
go.
are we going? I don't know. I like Thomasville do really well in this region. but
It's going to be tough. We got a lot of growing up to do.
yeah. So, all right. Well, let's go to other new coaches and let's talk Thomas County Central. Let's talk Cairo, playing the game both with new coaches as well. So let's talk about that. How's the new coach adjustment been for y'all, for Cairo?
I hadn't had time
Makers?
to go by. I don't know what's going on.
You don't know.
I don't even know why I come anymore. I get treated so badly here.
You're just in the middle.
That's right. You're just the eye candy,
Just
right?
stuck here.
That's
You're the alternate.
I'm in
what
it.
you are. Just saying.
But you know, Coach Devo retired in June.
yeah.
Excellent timing, Coach.
Yeah.
He's moved to the Florida line over there. He's at Orange Beach,
Okay.
living on the beach now, so coaching over there. So hope he has a great time. And
That is hard timing to
that
get
was,
a new
yeah.
coach and all
And,
that. That's
so we
tough.
promoted from within, and David Coleman, who was our strength and conditioning coach, former cert maker, been there coaching for 10 years. Great guy, great Christian young man that just really, you know, has a you know good feel for what Cairo was all about because he was there, and he surrounded himself with a lot of former Cairo players that were on the staff, and some he brought in. J.J. Cooper played for us. He's our head basketball coach, and he's a defensive coordinator. And he's a former cert maker. And then we've got Brandon Robinson. He played for us. He played quarterback back in his day. His son is our quarterback. He's the offensive coordinator. And then we brought back Coach Boyce. Coach Greg Boyce coached on the 08 team. And he coached for several years under Falah. He's back. Coach Jason Whitaker, who was coaching at Cairo during the 08-07 run there. Former Florida State
the FSU
All-American
guy. Yep.
lineman.
Yep.
Played on the national championship team.
Can he play for Florida State
He
this
could
year?
probably probably still line up. And he went to Bainbridge after he left us, coached there for a while, came back and was our head middle school coach. He kind of came out of retirement to come back and coach offensive line, be the strength and conditioning coach. A couple other former cert makers, Desmond Brown, Deontay Dismute, both played at Cairo, and they're here. And then a young man by the name of Chester Hightower, who wore that blue and gold for a long time, is over in Cairo
Like a
coaching
running back.
running backs and coaching our track.
Yeah.
So we're glad to. I think we got a pretty good little
Yeah,
staff
that's
put
a good-
together.
And staff is, especially these days of modern football, staff is
Oh my gosh.
is really important. Everybody talks about head coach. Staff is a big deal. So.
And one of the things, and I don't know if it's just kind of been the way football is. I know it was at Cairo. It was hard to keep a staff. People move around so much now than they used to just stay where they're at. So we got a lot of homeboys. So hopefully they'll stick with it and stay with us. And we got a very young coach and a very young team, young seniors,
Oh, yeah.
really young seniors.
Are they younger
I
than
knew it.
Thomasville?
I knew
They're
it.
They're
very-
younger
they're
than
very-
Thomasville.
And you know, we have no seniors on the offensive line, so we have an offensive line that is extremely young because
Yeah.
there's no seniors there. We have a senior quarterbacks back, Braylon Robinson. Our running back, Amari Burton's back. Marion played last year. He's back. We've got a receiver, Tyree Kelly. He's a D1 prospect. He's back. And then defense is pretty loaded as far as experience and depth. So
Yeah.
didn't play real well last week against Ware. We gave up some big plays against Ware in a driving rainstorm for half the time. But
And Ware's pretty good.
They're
Ware's pretty
They're
good
good.
program.
they seem to
good
be.
team.
And our quarterback wasn't live because our backup quarterback's a freshman, so we're kind of trying to keep Braylon safe. And so he was in a green jersey. And their quarterback was live, but then it dawned on us he's wearing a green jersey because they all had on one. So we
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
tackling anybody
Yeah,
because we thought they
yeah.
had on a green jersey.
It was too late.
Ironic how
You
that
know,
works.
halfway
Yeah.
through the game, we're like, wait a minute, that's their jersey. We can tackle them.
That's
And
not
so,
fair.
You know, and our kicker had the flu. He was out last week, and so we had a kid Cameron Brown kicking who had never kicked before in a game, and he did not a bad
Yeah.
job. He did a good job.
I'm
So-
not worried about Cairo's defense. I'm never worried about Cairo's kickers. Those
That's
two
right.
things I've never worried about with
Landon
Cairo for
Vickers
whatever
is a
reason.
senior. He kicked last year, and he's back pretty strong leg.
Yeah.
So, but you know, we got to load up and go to Thomasville, playing a team that annihilated Cook County, and you know.
We did.
Well, let's talk
They
about
did 67 points again,
Actually,
one half.
71.
71 and like a
The scoreboard wasn't
6
that
minute.
high.
We all scored
6 minute quarter
like
or something.
14-point touchdowns or something.
Yeah.
I
What's
just hope
going
they
on
don't
with
get
that?
71 on us.
Yeah.
And I think they may get 100. I don't know.
Right,
We just
right,
got to
right,
really
right.
hope nobody gets hurt.
All right, well, let's talk about the other side for the Battle of the Bucket. Let's go across Barnett's Creek and talk about Thomas County Central. New coach as well, so all new coaches in the area. So that's kind of interesting, Colquitt County as well. But
Yeah,
talk
in
about this
fact,
game.
I was going to ask, since Jim's the senior member here, has there ever been a season, Jim, where all three of the schools had new head coaches that you can remember?
I can't
I
remember
don't-
any.
I can't
remember.
either. I mean,
Plus Colquitt, right? You've got,
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to other.
Well, that's an interesting dynamic between
Yep.
the three schools, if nothing else. And of course, as Michael mentioned, we played Cook in our scrimmage, and it was Cook. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? Sometimes
Yeah.
they're good, sometimes they're not.
Cook's got a new coach, and he came in. They've had a lot of discipline problems.
Yeah.
I understand they only have about 35 players.
He was an assistant coach with Justin Rogers at Colquitt, and they know each other real well. But
he didn't treat him very nice.
well,
Boy,
they-
they must not like
yeah.
each other.
They must have had
that's
something-
right.
They must have the same thing.
With friends
Could
like
be,
that.
could be.
Yeah, with friends like that.
well, the bottom line is that our guys needed to step into that thing and play with a sense of confidence, and they look good.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
given the situation, that was the only team we could scrimmage, and it was 51-7 at the half, and we pulled the varsity guys off, and then our JV guys outscored their varsity 20-13 after that. So we felt pretty good. I kicked a 41-yard field goal that would have been good from 50, and overall
you
played
just want
well.
to look crisp, right? You want to.
Well, that's the thing.
Do all
I mean,
those
if the-
the score really doesn't matter, right? Because sometimes you're playing a great team, sometimes you're playing a terrible
Well,
team. But you
you
come
know-
out and crisp, execute. That's what.
Well,
you
the Central
want
folks don't need to put any more stock in that
Yeah.
than the Thomasville and Cairo folks need to put in theirs. I mean, it's a scrimmage. I mean, you want to walk off knowing what you need to work on. And if you walk off with a sense of confidence, you did pretty good. Okay, that's even better. But Justin Rogers comes over from Colquitt. He was successful over there and looked for, I think, just a chemistry issue. Just felt like it was something that he wasn't able to fix. And the opportunity came open at Central, and he's been kind of keeping half an eye on that job since he was at Jones County. And really, the thing that's impressive to me about Coach Rogers, he went to a Jones County program that is not a traditional power. I mean, you're talking about a team. We played there 2010, 2011. Their FFA had their animal stalls under the visitor stands. So you're not talking about a real high rent type
Yeah.
of program.
Yeah.
He stepped in there and took a team with no expectations, a community with no sort of tradition, and started competing for region championships against the Northside Warner Robins and those teams. So that's pretty impressive. So we'll see. I mean, so far the transition has been really good. Most of what we're doing is very similar to what we were doing before. The biggest thing is the classification deal for Central. I mean, how much is that going to affect us as we go on in the season? And two, Central's going to have to find a way to win a couple of games they probably are not supposed to win. And if that happens, a couple of those well-placed rocks from David against Goliath, and who knows? But right now, at least, the scrimmage gave us a good starting point and hopefully something to build
Confidence. Yep. All right. Well, let's talk a couple of other games we got here. We've got Colquitt County is playing Deerfield Beach. It's a kind of Florida, Georgia
on. Is that the
competition.
beach at Deerfield, Windsor?
It is. It's
Yeah,
right there on the
that's
coast.
That's right.
It's
That's
right there on the
mile.
coast of Albany.
That's
Okay, yeah,
Brookwood's
say on the-
rival,
on the- yeah.
Deerfield, Windsor.
Up
No.
against the Flint River.
Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
Flint. Yeah, it's the
yeah.
beach on the
This is
Flint.
not on
White
the Flint.
sands,
Yeah,
real
it's
pretty.
beautiful destination. for it.
So it looks, Colquitt always does well in these showcase games. I don't see this being any different.
Yeah.
I think they'll do well. Mitchell County goes to Monroe. Pelham will play the aforementioned Cook County, so we'll see how the Hornets do against. Well, I guess it's
Hornets
Hornets.
against Hornets.
Yeah, a bunch of Hornets.
All
yeah.
right.
Both
So-
teams
but
are a little bit down.
They know how to attack each other.
Now,
right?
Cook
They're
has
both
redone
Hornets.
their facilities, though. I think they've got a real,
they
real
got
nice.
Real nice.
they've had that for several years.
Okay. The last time we were there, it wasn't exactly up to
No.
speed, but I heard they had redone it and it was
Yeah, they
really
moved
nice.
it. They moved from where they were. They're at the high school now.
Gotcha.
All right, and last on this, Brookwood begins their schedule against Frederica from St. Simon. So
Okay.
ought to be a lot of fun games coming up at high school. We're going to talk a little bit of big picture college coming up on the break for the Press Box.
Damage to underground utility lines is a problem in the United States, and unsafe digging practices is a major cause. Unsafe digging can compromise community safety and disconnect people from critical services. Contractors, homeowners, and other utility owners need to be safe. Here's a few things to remember. Call 811 before digging. Wait the required time. Respect the marks and flags. Dig with care. If damage occurs, call your local utility provider and then make the call to 811.
Hey, welcome back. And this is the part of the show where we talk a little college football. We don't really have games to talk about yet, but there has been a lot of talk in the off season. Tumultuous off season, let's just say. It's hard to know where to start. But here at
We
the
ain't
Press
started
Box,
right yet.
yeah, here at the Press Box, we are into solutions. We're not into problems. So let's give some solutions, or maybe we are the problem.
We are the
Maybe
problem.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. But let's give some solutions to college football. Everybody kind of with the NIL deal and the transfer and kind of college football really kind of careening a little bit out of control, not very stable. What are things that we want to say? What are things that we want to keep? I mean, and let me just start it off to say, I think the NIL and players getting paid for their name, image, and likeness is okay. I don't think that's going to hurt anything within reason. But what are things that we want to keep about college football that can be lost that we don't want to lose? Michael, you go first. You got this contemplative look, so you're going to give us a good answer.
I don't like any of it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I think we're going to lose it slowly. And this NIL stuff, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like the transfer. It's just like the fact that, you know, people are just going to go where they get the best deal and there's no loyalties.
Yeah.
Just reflection of, you know, everything. I think if you get an NIL deal, you should have to already be established at the college, playing there for a couple years. And
Yeah,
then
that-
maybe get your deal. Not get it as you come in at 17 years old, 18 years old, and
Okay.
you get
Yep.
$80 million to sell a toothbrush with, you know,
Yeah,
a logo on it or something.
that nobody needs. So stability, I mean, and I think stability within the roster, like in other words, I don't mind transfer in NIL, but like a coach ought to be able to know what his roster is going to be like. Like they need to say, you know, you can only transfer at this time, or you only got one transfer, and from December to, you know, spring practice is the only time you can transfer.
Yeah.
Those type of things.
And you got one in you. One
That's
and
it.
done.
Yeah.
That's it. The rest of them you got to sit out. Keep it simple. What are other things that college football needs to hang on to, Jim?
You're asking the wrong person.
Well, I mean, we're all kind of traditional, old school tradition.
Yeah,
I'm a
I-
BCS guy, so hey, you know,
Yeah,
what do you want to?
I like the Big Ten the way it was, the SEC the way it was.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like. I like the Pac-12, and I like the.
The traditional power
I like the
conferences.
I'm
I
a
like
Big 12
Texas.
guy
I
myself.
like Texas and Oklahoma playing each other
You're the
Yep.
expert.
Big
for
12.
their championships. And
Is there a Big 12 anymore? I don't even know.
Yeah, we don't even know.
There is. I don't think Texas and Oklahoma come till 25.
So
That's right.
in 2 years, they've
2
got to
years.
figure out what they're going
Right.
to do. And there's some good teams that get left behind in there, Randy.
Well, I'm going to throw this, and I was hoping that Jim would go this way with this. What's going to happen here is the game is going to continue to change so that money is the master of all. And the old base alumni that are supporting these programs with tens of millions of dollars are not going to recognize the game that they've been supporting. And what's going to be interesting to see is when that old money at Georgia, that old money at Texas, that
Ohio
old money
State.
at Ohio
Yeah.
State, when they go, this is not what
Yep.
I have known, this is not what I have supported, and they pull that support,
Yeah.
that's when you're going to have to, something's going to have to be done. And that's rapidly coming because it's changing too quick.
Yeah.
There's one thing to have, like the NIL deal. You've got Texas A&M, who's had one 5-star recruit in the last 13, 14 years. One recruiting class, they have 7. The year, by the way, that the NIL thing comes into being.
They got the money to pay,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
like
And-
Ohio State.
well, and we were
Yeah.
saying before we started recording, you've got 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 schools. Okay.
Three that can
May-
win it.
that have a legitimate shot because of those pockets.
Yep.
Texas is on the outside. They got the money.
Yeah,
But-
well,
but right
they've got
now
to
they don't
build
have the
everything. Yeah,
influence.
they're not there yet.
Nope.
They're not there yet, but they can be. And you don't want college football to go. You don't want college football to go to the highest
Bidder.
It doesn't
right?
need to become the
That's-
mini NFL. I mean, that's the bottom line.
You're not going to out corporate the NFL.
No, and people are supporting those schools because it's a college game. It's an amateur game.
Yeah.
Not
And-
anymore.
No, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, that's my point. It's one thing to say, okay, well, we're dependent on ESPN to fund this program, but those colleges are funded through that alumni money.
When
That-
Jacksonville State can get the money and get a top recruit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Anyway, there's got to be some safety nets put in place quickly.
Yeah, and also for the students, I think number one, maintaining traditions.
Oh, my gosh.
That's very powerful. I think I always like how the regular season is meaningful. I would love to maintain that as well. And again, just guardrails on these things. Again, the NIL doesn't bother me with very clear, not bureaucratic kind of craziness, but very clear, very stiff penalties and very clear rules on how to enforce these type of things. And I think you'd have a great, I mean, college football could really, if they band together and figure this out, it
That's
could be
if.
yeah, that's if.
That's if.
It could be a very great product that is national. Right now, it's closing in on just the Southeast, and that's not going to be good for the sport in 5 years. It
Nope.
just isn't. So.
And something y'all hadn't talked about and you may not know about, and those of you that do should forget, Georgia's a national champion.
You know
I don't
what?
know if we mentioned it.
When was that?
33,
80,
18.
1980?
It's been 0 years since
It's
they
been,
won
gosh,
it.
it
Yeah,
seemed
yeah.
like
Is
it
that
was
right?
just.
So
That's
what are you,
right.
yeah,
Did
what are
they
you going
play
I
to
don't know if we mentioned it, but I wanted to
Did
throw
they
it
play
out
a
there.
national championship
They
game
did
last
play a
year?
little national
I
championship.
heard.
Where was I?
Has a nice ring. I probably
Jim-
not.
Jim
not
didn't
watching.
Yeah,
doggone
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Has a nice ringo to it.
There he goes. Look at
Yeah.
you.
Coming out
Man.
firing. I need
Holy
the auto
moly.
mix right
You're
here
like the
now.
mailman.
All right,
You're
well,
delivering right there, buddy.
I'm fixing to get him distressed and start asking him about Stetson Bennett.
I
How
don't
he's
want
going
to talk
to do
about
this year.
I'm just telling you, I'm that guy, and I know
You're
I'm
that
not
guy.
popular, but I don't have he's a nice kid. He should
Yeah.
have went on and.
But Georgia will never
Done
win
something
with him,
else.
though. They'll never win.
Yeah, they can't win a game with him at
No,
quarterback.
never can.
Didn't they
Yeah,
win
well,
a few?
They won a few, but now that they don't have
I have
a,
no confidence.
now that
in
they don't have an
Stetson
elite
Bennett. I'm not a guy.
defense, they-
Yeah, they don't have that. I'm telling you.
Hey, you know what I heard today? I heard this today that some NFL executives talking about that Georgia defense and saying that team, if that Georgia defense all moved up to the NFL, it'd be a really good defense. And you know, I mean, that doesn't happen very often.
you're right.
That's a super elite, one of the best defenses of all time. And now you're going to need a quarterback, I think. So
We'll see.
anyway, it's going to be fun.
We'll
We're going to
see.
be talking about this all year, so I'm
We'll
looking
see.
forward to this. I'm looking forward to this.
Where's yes, no? What happened?
Yeah, where's yes, no?
Yeah, it's still the
Is it too
offseason.
early?
It's the
Is it too
NIL
early?
deal.
Okay.
We're waiting on a good NIL deal for the yes,
Anything
no.
else
So,
we hadn't covered we need to talk
I
about?
know. I think we got it. Guys, we'll see y'all next week.
It's
Looking
time.
forward to it. Let's get out there and support our high school athletes, band
Go
members,
easy on us.
cheerleaders.
I got
and
you.
We'll see you next week on the press box.